everybody, it's Matt from the house. I'm here with Jayson from Burton, and we're gonna climb the ladder of Burton boots for the 21-22 season. So let's check these things out. All right, so right off the bat, we're gonna start with the Moto, and this boot also comes in lace, it comes in speed zone, and it also comes in BOA. So we're going anywhere from 175 up to 230. So you know, obviously, just pretending on the lacing system depends on the price. But what are we getting in the Moto overall, no matter what the lacing system?
So you're getting a heat moldable liner. So it's got the internal lace, it has extra webbing around there too, so it really kind of keeps its flex over time, but also just gives you a really good heel hold. Also with Burton boots, you're getting that one-to-one lasting even down to our price point, which means for every whole and half size, we're making a separate shell size, tongue size, and outsole size for every whole and half size.
Perfect.
So just costs a lot on the production side, but you're getting the shortest possible boot without a lot of extra room for things to blow out. So just a killer boot for the cash, Dynamite outsole, so super lightweight, again, heat moldable all the way across.
Cool. So yeah, so definitely for that entry-level rider, super comfortable. Basically, you're gonna have a great day no matter what. And then obviously you can lace it up however you like to lace it up. All right, next up we're gonna check out the Burton Ruler. I think this is probably one of the best-selling boots in the history of Burton forever, correct?
Well, aside from the Moto, yeah, I'd say Moto's the best-selling boot in the industry, but just bang for the buck, the Ruler's just a killer boot for the cash. So yeah. Really good, small, you know, super short footprint with that one-to-one lasting. We've got Dynagrip outsole, so we got 50% reground rubber in the traction and high wear zone, so it grips really good on snow. But just really putting it minimally, so it really doesn't, you know, weight down the boot at all. Still has that, you know, kind of cushy EVA midsole. You go to the Imprint 2 liner, so Imprint 2 is still heat moldable, but it's got a little additional cuff that's attached to the inside of the shell, so you get a little bit better fit there. And then also you get, you know, the speed zone, so you get upper and lower there. You also get a BOA version with the upper and lower. And anything also Moto BOA or Moto speed zone on up will have that sleeping bag in there. That's that reflective foil strobe. If you take the liner out, it's like a kind of that space blanket material that kind of holds your body heat in and keeps things nice and warm.
Yeah, not a lot of people realize you can actually, your feet can get cold through the sole of your boot.
Yeah, if you're standing in the snow a lot, you know, it can kind of
it's pretty crazy.
Get right through there.
So we're going
260 on 260 on speed zone and 300 on double BOA.
Yeah, so we're obviously getting upgrade in the liner, we're getting upgrade in the materials on the outside, in the outsole in this one. So a lot of good upgrades for that, you know, beginner to intermediate rider who just wants a good all mountain, go anywhere, do anything boot.
One thing to mention also, the standard Ruler also comes in a wide version. So if you got a wider foot,
for you guys with hobbit feet,
yeah, we got you covered down at 260 here.
Sick. All right, next step up the ladder is the Kendo at 320. So pretty cool boot, traditional lace on this one. So yeah, give us a little hoo-ha on what's going on in this thing.
Yeah, so just over the past few years, we've been getting a lot of feedback, you know, from team, from, you know, retailers, just riders in general, that they wanted a higher end, like more technical boot from us with traditional lace. So, you know, a lot of people love the way our boots fit, but they like traditional lace, so it's like, let's give it to them. So that's where the Kendo comes in. So it does have that same outsole as like our Ion, so still rubber in the high traction, you know, really good, you know, for hiking, that sort of thing. A little softer density foam on the inside versus the outside. It's got a rubber toe cap on here. Just to, you know, cut down on wear from the buckles or the straps and things like that. But it is an articulated cuff. It also has this little harness here too. When you're cranking this thing down, it just really pulls the shell and really locks your foot in. And with the articulated cuff, you get a really good smooth forward flex on this boot. Then Imprint 3 liner setup, so better quality materials on the inside. You've got dry ride heat cycle in the heel area, where actually it pulls heat away from your foot as your foot heats up and then gives it back as your foot cools down. Better liner or better footbed in there as well. So definitely a lot better fit options as you go up in price throughout the line. But yeah, Kendo's a killer kind of medium to soft flexing kind of boot there.
Yeah, definitely good higher end option too for those guys that like the traditional laces. All right, next up is the Swath. So we're pretty much staying kind of the same price range as the last boot, but a little different style of boot. So what do we got going on in this guy?
Yeah, so if you still like a speed lace system, but you want that kind of like super soft, soft to medium flex, but in a super lightweight boot, that's kind of where the Swath comes in.
This thing is crazy light.
Yeah, so that's where you're getting the ultra weave construction. So it's kind of like what high-end running shoes are made of. It does have a backing to it, so you can ease up on the comments below. It's not mesh. It's not gonna. They are waterproof. So, but what it does is it really reduces the overall paneling in there. So anytime you traditional style making boots, everything's got a panel, it's got stitching, and anytime you can reduce that, you drop the weight of the boot considerably. So still a articulated cuff, still the imprint 3-liner setup, but again, we've got either the speed zone version, where you got the pulls, or you got the double BOA. Then you have Dynagrip outsole. It's our EST sole, which doesn't mean you have to ride EST bindings. What it basically means is that the sole is flat. So it's just a flat kind of skate shoe style sole.
So really good feel with your bindings.
Yep, and then still just 50% reground rubber in the toe and the heel, with the traction where you need it. So, and then another thing, just kind of note, with all the BOAs that we have, we don't use steel cables. We use New England ropes. So it doesn't chew up the rest of the boot. It has a more natural forward flex to it. That steel cables don't give it. So that's something that we kind of pioneered and developed with BOA years ago, but it's something that makes the boots ride a lot better. So
yeah, definitely probably makes the boot wrap a little bit better too, and just gives you that overall fit where it's not stiff.
And also just, when you're really diving in on your toe edge, your boot's starting to flex, you don't have the cables like pushing the tongue, into your foot.
Right.
So it flexes with the boot a lot more naturally.
So yeah, so price-wise, we're basically looking
$320,
same as the Kendo, and
then $350 here. So if you still like the double BOA, which is pretty nice, you just don't have any laces flopping around or
crank it and rip it.
Yeah, getting tied by your buddies to the bar stool or anything like that.
All right, next up is going to be the Photon and the Photon BOA coming in at $340 and $380. Yep. So what are we getting for a little extra bucks on this one?
Yeah, so the Photon has been in line for a while. It was a good time for a revamp. We actually kind of combined some of the tech and the positive things that we've made in the Imperial, and just kind of merged the two into the Photon. So now you have the Photon available in Speed Zone, and then you still have it available in double BOA. But by going here, you go imprint 3-liner still set up from what we've had basically from the Kendo on up. But you get a little wider toe box than previous Photons. You have these S4 panels here, where what that does is it's a panel where the strap sits, and it just evens out the pressure, doesn't dig into your foot. It also reduces a lot of wear, right on the boot there as well. And then also you get the new Vibram traction lug outsole, so you get really good board feel with this, so nice and soft, nothing too crazy as far as like the deep treads or anything, but on the leading edge of right underneath your foot, there's actually extra dimples on the lug itself that actually creates more traction, in sluffier conditions, that sort of thing. So yeah, you basically have a difference in price. Really, the end result, in my opinion, is the same. You get dual speed zone or dual zones here, but you either have the pulls or you got the double BOA.
Cool. And this is that one boot for you want one boot that can absolutely do anything, and definitely at a price that's not too crazy, but a boot that's going to last you a long time as well.
And good support. I mean, it'll drive any of the boards in the line. It's just a right down the middle, medium to medium stiff kind of flex on it. So.
All right, next up, coming in at $440. This is it's a pretty specialized boot. This isn't the boot that everybody's riding, but there's definitely going to be some guys out there that are going to really like the Driver X. So at $440, what are we getting on this thing?
So there's still a lot of guys out there. I mean, a lot of people in Europe and Japan. Some people they like that really stiff boot. Especially in the States, guys they're riding border cross, they're riding, really steep, big mountain stuff where they need a boot that's really just gonna cut through a lot of the chunder. They don't want their ankles giving out. Big mountain riding, that sort of thing. That's kind of where the Driver X comes in. It is the stiffest boot in the line. And probably the stiffest boot in the industry, to be honest with you. So, but it's got the Vibram outsole on it, so really good deep traction lugs in there for hiking. It's got the compression molded toe cap on it too, so it's not collapsing when you're cranking the straps down, but it's also a lot more durable. You got Speed Zone pulls on it. You go to the Imprint 3X. Essentially what it does is it just has a little stiffer power panels on the side of the liner. Okay. So it gives you just more lateral support that way. It's called our Tough Cuff that's on the inside there. It's actually got this thermoplastic that actually molds to the shape of your bone structure of your feet. So it gives you more support yet than that. Power up tongue, so and again an extra insert in the tongue to make it even stiffer yet. You can see the backstay in this boot.
That's a beast.
So the stiffer that backstay is, that just makes the boot, really stiff as well. So again, if you want that kind of just basically like hard boot almost feel, but the strap system, that the Driver X is a good way to go. Pair that with some Cartel X's, and that'll get your gun. That'll get you from edge to edge. Yep. Right now.
All right, definitely one of the better selling high-end all-mountain, go anywhere, do anything boots. The Ion coming in at $510 and $560 for the double BOA. So spend a little extra cheddar on this thing, and what are we getting?
Yeah, so this is definitely a team favorite. Even riders that ride for other companies, that sort of thing. This is one of the more requested boots, just because it's got a ton of support. Basically everything that you kind of need in a boot. It does have the AutoCant kind of footbed in it.
Yep.
So it's actually, that's why it's a different color. It's actually softer density foam on this side versus this side. Rubber, super good grip for when you're hiking the pipe, backcountry. Does have the compression molded toe strap there, or toe box. So got these little kind of cool looking scales on there, but what it does is they're actually directional, so it grips the cap strap, so it's not slipping down on you. But you go to the Lifeliner. So Lifeliners are the highest quality heat moldable EVA available out there, and we actually perforate it so it actually breathes. And then the material in the toe, or in the tongue, is kind of like a open cell foam, kind of like those old school like Dale boot liners that we used to have, that sort of thing. But when you add it to the tongue, it adds a lot of response and a lot of longevity to the boot. So, so really super responsive. And just super comfy, a little bit wider toe box fit on that one too. So, and then you get the double BOA version. Again, New England ropes. Basically anything ruler on up, we were using the new H4 dial, which is actually, it does have a breakaway mechanism built into it. So for whatever reason, some people are walking, they slip a step, and they hit the BOA on there, or if they're riding trees or something hits that, and instead of the BOA completely breaking off and then not being able to get it back together, it actually breaks away, but it allows you to just basically wind everything up, put it back in.
Snap it back in.
Yep.
So, genius.
So.
Sick. And I always tell people on this boot too, like, yeah, it might cost a little bit more and it might have the same price as some of your snowboards, but you buy a $200 boot and you ride it hard for, a year. And when I'm saying hard, I'm saying getting after it 7,500 days a year. You're probably going to need a new pair of boots every year, but something like this, you might spend a little extra cheddar on it, but it's going to last you way longer than that too. So those extra features and those extra materials that go into the boot, they're not just there for performance, they're actually there for durability and longevity of the boot too. So it really is an investment when you get into these higher end boots.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they will take a little bit more. I mean, they fit great out of the box, but they will take more to break in. But once you get in there, they'll stay there for a long time. So
sick.
It's a rider's boot.
All right, coming in at $610. I know a lot of you are like going sticker shock right now. But if you want all the technology you can get in one boot that's gonna last you not quite forever, but basically forever, the SLX. So what are we getting for this thing? This is like steak and lobster for your feet.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, do you need anything else besides steak and lobster for your feet?
I don't.
So basically, like, our highest end pinnacle boot, but it's not quite as stiff as like an Ion. So, you know, a lot of the guys that, you know, like ride big jumps, pipe, that sort of thing, they like the Ion. This is a really good kind of, you know, medium to, you know, stiff flex on it. Does have that articulated cuff, kind of taking some of the, you know, different materials that are, you know, they just have this Carbitex that's kind of like a carbon fiber, like it's a carbon, but it's kind of molded into the fiber there that adds durability and also, you know, liveliness to the shell. It does have the ultra weave construction with this material on here, reducing paneling. It does have the Life Plus liner, which just basically has all the same things as a Life liner, but just a little better footbed and also more dry ride heat cycle in it. So it really, you know, works with the kind of the up and down temperatures, you know, going on with your feet. So, but like I said, it's just a really good, you know, kind of, you know, medium stiff flex on it. So like Terrier's been riding that boot, Mark McMorris, a lot of those guys have been, you know, running this boot lately.
Yeah, and this is another one too, where again, you're gonna have a boot that's gonna last a long time. It's an investment, and you know, a lot of times when you spend more money, the boots get stiffer, but you know, people want a good boot that can ride absolutely everywhere, but they still wanna have all the tech and stuff. So this is kind of a cool way where you can get that tech, but you're not getting a super, super stiff boot, and you're, again, it's an investment. It's a boot that's gonna last you a long, long time. And you're gonna be comfortable every single day when you're riding it too. So you might get a little bit of that sticker shock, but add up how many pairs of $200 boots you're gonna buy over the years, and I guarantee it's gonna be more than this thing. All right, well, thanks for climbing the boot ladder with us for Burton for the 21-22 season. And you can obviously see when you spend more, you get more. If you got any questions about these boots or any of the boots at thehouse.com, leave us some comments down below. We're on there every single day. You know, we're trying to answer your questions and get you into the best gear possible for you and your riding style. Like, subscribe, and get that notification bell on so you can find out when all the new videos drop. And definitely, no matter what kind of riding you're doing or what kind of boots you have, get out and ride, because any day of riding is a good day of riding.